are very slowly closing in on some big goals on my Patreon as I write this. Hopefully that's still the case once it airs, but please consider checking out the Patreon linked below. Hopefully see you there. The start of the movie appearing to be darker, not just visually speaking of course, than the other movies. Quite surprising actually. Not gonna lie, that's pretty awesome, especially given what they just did to their village after all. Ryuk from Death Note! It wouldn't be One Piece without the buildings in this new non-canon area looking different to everything before it. As usual as well, lots of life being injected into this new area via tons of animation and bright colourful visuals. Nami wearing different clothing like always, take my win. These are bog standard at the start, Chopper being adorable. Luffy being Luffy, likely a Robin win coming, maybe Zoro being cool, but we might move on from the usual here. The fact that they're always thinking outside the box with this crew, with Sanji stating that they need some money to buy the lads back at the ship some food. Yep, Robin's still looking cute and adorable, and I'm very happy that she's still in the anime and with the crew. Also, take another here because someone made me think on the third movie's comments that these voice actors work so hard. They do One Piece anyway, plus other things, yet still found the time to belt out the movies too. You know, it might be a ickle cheesy as a plot, but, like I said in the fourth movie, for me I always like the added adventures for the crew, and this fits the bill obviously. A gorgeous looking bird's eye view, so good it gets shown first. Okay, 2 wins, and you can likely guess them. Firstly, they gave us this shot, which shows us the entire island near enough, clearly using some of the tech from the fourth movie. Secondly though, it's naturally Zoro's epic level dodge whilst asleep, so good! They've been impressive at adding more and more of these unique style of shots. Also though, not walking on the spot. See what I'm saying about unique shots? That good looking CGI as the water gets hit by stray cannonballs. I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that this is the same marine dude who was after them during the fourth movie, no? I only think this because I only just finished that movie. A seriously well done shot that zoomed through the ship as it sails away. I might be wrong and it just looks odd, but I think she used another hand here out of the wall to hold herself in place, and that is awesome! Getting to see this chase from the top down. They're always gifting us some of the most beautiful looking visuals of islands. Can't be shocked and surprised that they ended up taking Zoro to a marine base of all things. Also shocking is that he has seemingly met the main villain of the series already, and he's guarded by marines. Lots of questions so far, so nicely done not dropping exposition. Saga. Wait, what? Yet another shock and surprise? Are you having a laugh? Never seen so many plot twists in One Piece in everything I've seen to date. He's now sick or something? Truly unexpected, and he knows Zoro. They're old pals, let's continue to go. Such a serene beauty to that. Kawaii! Usopp thinking he could stop Luffy once he set his mind on heading over towards the woman. Very quick, not running away on the spot. They did it again, 3 more times in fact. I'll show these in that case. Very fluid looking animation them. Satsuki Kuruin from the amazing Kill la Kill. Yuppie from Hunter x Hunter. He's the huge Chimera ant who is red, by the way. Love his voice in that. This is totally becoming a thing now. He never did it much in the main series, but he did it in the fourth movie too. This has more twists in it than a damn pretzel. Now the Marines are attacking them suddenly. Gotta say, some real nice animation on the battle so far. Not the level of the last movie, but still as good as the other three. A real good looking, smooth as warm butter animation with this continuous motion shot. Also though, yet another twist, as Zoro isn't just knowing the main dude, but actually is working with him. This is sick, because out of everyone on the crew, Sanji is the one I trust would be able to go toe to toe with him pretty well, aside from Luffy obviously. Zoro versus Sanji fight! This is one of those moments I gotta praise the bread and butter of One Piece, which is their fresh battle movements where nothing is repeated. Gotta love that. That background legit looking like a stunning work of art. Learning that there is at least some reason to their madness as the Marines withdraw after declaring that the village broke the law by doing the stuff they were doing when our crew arrived. That would have been a pain to animate. I always find it so entertaining to see Luffy so impressed by various things. How well that was done, with both of them obviously being completely taken off guard by the sudden act of violence. I like that because even though he might sound very simple via his words, he's actually spot on. He's just saying that basically he and the sword doesn't feel right. You're my enemy, and he's right. Exactly what I was talking about with the earlier Sanji vs Zoro battle. Nothing but fresh movements there. Totally wouldn't be a One Piece property without at least a single line from Usopp. Same win as Two Back, nothing but freshness, breathe it in! The day when all of this kind of stuff was done by hand. You gotta love it, really. He's legit one of my favourite voice actors in this anime. I just love what he made the character via the use of his voice. Also though, credit here for him because he jumped to get Luffy without even knowing he had this gizmo at the time. Really nice to see that not only is Chopper helping to aid the people injured during the attack, but Robin is also doing much the same thing, bless her. Said it in the last movie and I'm saying it again, Chopper acting like this after getting a compliment, in this case Nami saying he really is a good doctor, is unlikely to ever not get a win. Sanji not wallowing in self-pity after losing, but still helping out by cooking for everyone, instead feeling sorry for Maya, for her having lost something precious to her. I ain't ever gonna stop giving wins for this! Finally finding out why Zoro even got involved in the first place. He thought he was aiding his old friend, but I can see why some people can dislike this storyline given we never heard of him before. It's actually kind of cool in a really weird way to see how villains treat other villains if they're on the same team. Never seen that before in this story. I derive a great deal of joy when I watch Luffy just enjoy life. He seems so happy to find Usopp. Oh, that's what he was also so happy about. He's so weird. One of the longest not running on the spots in One Piece history. He looks so disappointed after wrecking it so easily as he was having fun. I love it. Tons of great destruction animation as Luffy continues to have fun triggering traps down there. It's so oddly cool to have someone like Robin along for the adventure who can do stuff like translate this. The whole island is somehow just as good looking at night as it was during the day. Only in an anime and a story like this would they get out of the tunnels finally, but think, nah, let's go back inside and try and find another way out, I swear. This part of the movie is absolutely insane and I love every single minute of it. This never happens in anime normally. They get out again, but it's still not a good area, so back inside they go. Without a single doubt in my mind, that's the best looking shot of the whole movie so far. At least here at long last, Zoro is probably starting to understand how he screwed up. Oh, how well he knows Nami. 2 wins here. Firstly, learning more about the sword and what its whole actual deal is. Secondly is for the way they did the scene with such a unique art style change.
だが、妖刀のよこしまなる力を受けた者には捕虜に手は出せん。
Learning why they had to get Zoro to do it. They just got lucky with his arrival, really.
つまらん噂に過ぎなかったようだな。
まだ勝負はついてねえ!
Endeavour from My Hero Academia, as always, love this dude, he's everywhere. By the way, I've been watching that anime for 10 years year after next. My god, how time flies, it's insane.
お前がくれた誓いの剣だぞ。
In fairness, a lot of the stuff I thought was super rushed actually makes sense. This is why he went into the forest, not to find the thrower, to find Saga. He knew right away. Damn, dude, what a long and awesome looking fight scene we get of Saga and Zoro fighting off a ship of pirates.
俺に任せろ無理だ
How this nicely plays into the main series, as this obviously happened long before he learned how to cut through things like this.
俺は必ず戻ってお前を救いサガ
Huge credit to the studio for not even making this close. He said, "I'll get help," and the minute he sets off to do so, it blows up. Again, that doesn't normally go down like that in anime. This totally qualifies for a building list of wins regarding unique villains in One Piece. Here we are with another who was and is still a good guy, just under a dark spell. Nicely done.
なんだこりゃ。おい、ウソップ!
Might not be as good, to me anyway, as the last movie, but this one totally tops all the others in terms of pure, raw plot twists around every corner as Luffy finds these crystals. Luffy and Usopp returning to the crew, and it makes sense since the tunnels are nothing if they're not extensive.
俺たちだって大変さじゃ全然負けてねえだな、船長
So very random. I love stuff like that. Oh, that cute little reaction to what made me laugh. Too long to show, but Luffy gets credit from me for immediately wanting to take action to save her from giving her life to stop the sword coming to power. Doesn't hesitate for a second.
お土産? あれ、綺麗な玉だろ
That's classic One Piece, really. It's exactly what they need. Everyone is lamenting the end for her, and boom, he's like, here's a nice gift.
お前、サガを信じてるんだろだったらとことん信じてやれついてるぞ、マヤ
ああ、麦わら海賊団がな。
Pretty much every movie, Luffy ends up giving a nice speech, and this one is no different. That's really good. They're likely going to split up to set the crystals at the 3 towers. They get to use the tunnels to get there. It's all nicely set up from the last 30 minutes. I feel like this too is becoming a thing. They've done it a few times in the main series thus far as well. Chopper is so adorable like this, it physically hurts me.
ゾロはきっと帰ってくる
ああ、そうだな。
How Sanji and Luffy especially here had utter faith in the return of their friend Zoro.
待ってください。他の人たちと違って僕にはまだ少しは自分の意志ってものが残ってるんです。このままじゃいずれただの人斬りとして死ぬだけだ。そんなの嫌だ。
Wouldn't be right if this movie, with all its twists and turns, didn't do one more twist. So here it is, maybe the last one, finding out that this lad isn't completely under the curse's control yet.
勝負の最中にうだうだ言ってんじゃねえ。相手を倒すことだけを考えろ。
Also, though, have one for the battle itself. As with all the others, it's just very well done. Nothing huge, but very smooth and nothing repeated and so on.
はい。これでお前は望み通り正義の剣を手に入れることができる。
The sad moment the lad finally loses all control of his own free will and falls under the curse. The first part of the battle was a little long to show, so I'll speed it up, but basically the same as win number 96. Multiple rotating shots like it's not a difficult thing to animate. Always good how they keep things in from the main series, as I mentioned before, where he couldn't cut the metal chains holding Saga on the boat. Here he's trying to cut through the sword. It's so damn cool how his goal is to have it pierce Zoro to drink his blood, but Zoro actually defends against it multiple times, including when it goes all funky. Luffy being so sick here and defending the old lady and the girl from multiple attackers. And then for me, even better than the last one, he does this. He just does get one for that, clearing the entire way and carrying them both up there. Gotta love him. It's not the deepest lore ever, but credit to the writers for coming up with quite a bit for the movie. I expected this and it did not disappoint. That entire area would be protected by one of the main sub-villains. So good, whoever did that animation. It's probably the smoothest attack in the whole movie, that one. How my girl Robin cleared the entire field of battle in like, I don't even know, maybe 6 seconds or something? She remains absolutely incredible to me. And how Nami, not the strongest in the world, instead uses her intellect to win like here. How Zoro, in spite of being so injured, attempts to stop him and his plans here again. The moment he sees and rightly panics that all 3 of the gems have been placed. May sound weird, but good to see it have an immediate effect. The shield created by the gems being used, and her prayer of course, otherwise it'd be kind of pointless. I freaking knew they wouldn't leave it without another plot twist. He hits her from there! Luffy manages to deflect one, get out of here! Plus the damage effects on both of those blasts. When I first met Luffy, I feared his ability was too weak, but he's proven all along how strong he really is like here. How much love and respect Luffy clearly has for his friend and nakama. The voice actor actually does a real good job here, I think. You gotta adore how even when faced with such power, Luffy still is very much like, the battle isn't over yet. Very much in the same vein as the last win, he's showing off his new power, and Luffy is stretching. He may take a hit here, but he still lands a couple good ones himself. Just wanted to quickly shout out whoever did all the damage animation. Knocked it out the park this battle. His huge and great looking attack here. Awesome impact on it too. But also his reasoning here being the first thing to look as though it might snap him out of it. That if he's Zoro's friend, he shouldn't need a super powerful sword. He should be powerful already. Such a rare treat getting to witness Nami and Chopper team up. Actually, it is the first time, I think. 3 absolutely powerful and brilliant attacks one after the next. Each one as good as the last. They really nailed the impact sounds and visuals in this one. Ah, I get it now. He's become the sword itself in a way. I literally said that out loud to my wife while she wasn't even paying attention. He's become the sword itself. I'm so silly. So good how they include so many things from the main series. It really helps to make me feel like this is just a side adventure that took place during the main story. Zoro hasn't had any cool moments this movie, mainly due to going against the main crew, but it's definitely time to drop a win for him just being plain old cool. Nice callback to what he said as he was hanging from the chain before the boat blew up. The fact that finally Saga is actually fighting against it, seemingly for the first time in this movie. Finally, at long last, he cuts through the sword and him. Glad these guys got a moment like this at the end of the movie. He certainly wasn't a focal point of the story, but he still had a very important scene, so it's good to see him okay and healing up and obviously moving on in life. Good to know how quickly most of the crew forgave and forgot. This random callback again to the first 15 minutes or so of the movie. For context, the boat bounced off of it after flying through the air, escaping the marine ships, and he fell in love. A little bit more context there. When it landed on his back, he was choking on an animal and then spat it out like the Heimlich maneuver, so that's why he's in love. They always end the movies like this pretty much, and I'm always a fan of it. Like I say, on to the next adventure! A phono win here for a nice outro song and simple visuals. Hopefully you enjoyed the movie and want to check it out on Patreon, help keep the channel going, and more One Piece content coming, and other stuff. See you there! Darth Weirdo, Mal Liao, Nick Wyndham, The Elementator Wars, Christopher Willis, Emmanuel Gonzalez, Fancy Turtle, Kepan, Minimasher, Marquez, Nazomi, Orkeeper, Otter A. Bodonisi, Steelers, The Epic Commander, Bird Without a Word, Brandon Krier, Brian Bayot, Cameron, Christian Tuasa, Commander Chris, Doggos for Life, Dragonstorm 35, Aaron Winters, Guru, I Am Here, James Tafoya, Yor Edvinson, Kevin Elston, Cumfroik, Kylie Wub, Lisa Marie Timp, Luis Minito, Magnus, Mr. Mansu, Nightly Winter, Peter Milligan, Ruby Rose, Sataka Yari, Zion 44, Sean, The 100s, Tiger Lily Warrior, Sumi Bito, Ajoka, Alexander Schwartz, Ali 50, Amadillo, Brainless Ben, Cecilia, Cedric, Cloud Garden, Dante Soul, Dark Lord Bloody Soul, Def the Kid 123, Devon, Dragon Defender, Esso, Garrett Vermish, Gibbs, Hoof to Lowe's Ritter, Israel Caldera, Jason Davies, John, Juffa 6263, Kelnock, Kevin Nelter, Kevink 102, Knuckle Duster, Kai 158, Kyle Jones, Laxor, Laxus, Liam Gagati, Lifty, Lionel Schultz, Marvin, Matthew Blansett, Michael Lewis, Modiverum, Monty, Mudini, Mr. Firecool, Natsu Dragneel, Nick Monaco, Nick Pell, 9028, Ollie the Mighty, Oliver Smiley Reacts, Oscar I. Lopez, Owen Halloran, Q Flash, Ryan DeVries, Sarcastic Truth, Snow, Stan, Storm 970, TRS, The Danish Muggle, Thrasher 340, Vernon Hogan, Will Sass, Willy Man,